Reduce attachments. What does that actually mean? So before trying to reduce your attachments, you need to actually understand what attachments are. What does it mean to be attached to something or to someone? So attachment comes from the fear of losing something or the fear of losing someone. Attachment comes from the need to control an outcome. And attachment also comes from seeking security outside of yourself. So I'm going to break it down as I go through the video. So the first thing when it comes to being attached to an outcome, that's a relationship, for example, you know, being attached to marriage. You've got women who are so attached to the concept of marriage, weddings even. Let's forget about the marriage for a minute. And that's the thing. You're so focused on the wedding that you're not thinking about how to better the relationship in order for you to have a successful marriage. You're too focused on the wedding. You're too focused on what dress you're going to wear, who's going to MC, what DJ you're going to have. You know all of that. But you don't actually know which direction your relationship is actually heading towards, because you're not putting much work on the actual relationship. And we sit here and we wonder why the divorce rates are so high. Let's talk about another outcome. You're so interested in having that successful business, right? Having that successful business or having that successful business launch. But what about actually working on the customer service aspect of things? Working on the things that actually matter. The things that will actually bring about success. We're too attached. We're too attached to the outcome. Another example, the body. You're working on your summer body. How about focusing on your relationship with food? How about focusing on the reason why you eat so much? How about focusing on your lack of consistency to continue to actually work out when you need to in order for you to get the body? How about building a healthy lifestyle rather than just focusing on the summer body? Because summer's gonna come and go, and the next year you have another summer. But if you focus on having a healthy lifestyle where you work out, you know, it's the norm for you. You eat healthy. That's the norm for you. You watch your calories. You watch what you eat. You're not eating anyhow. That's having the lifestyle. But yet you're so attached to the outcome, the body, what the body's going to look like. Yet you're neglecting the body that you currently have. And you're going more and more towards being insecure because you're not loving the person you currently are right now. And seeking security and validation outside of yourself. Nothing outside of yourself can give you security but yourself. Nothing. Listen, going through mental illness taught me that only I could get myself out of that. There are certain things that only you can do. So focus on what you can control. Don't focus on the outcome. Don't focus on things outside of yourself. Everything that you need is inside of yourself. And you just focus on yourself, focus on your own lane, focus on your own journey, focus on the things that are important. Focus on the action that needs to be taken. The marriage will come. Like, the wedding is just a celebration. After that, you have to move in with this person. They will see your character is not that great. They will see you for who you really are because you didn't do the work. And then divorce comes. But if you work on your character, you work on your personal development journey, you work on becoming who you want to attract. You've got so many people who have got a list. Listen, I used to have a list of the type of man that I wanted, how I wanted him to be. And it got to a point where it was like, am I even what I'm asking for? Am I there? I scrapped it. Because for me, it's like, actually, who am I? And am I someone who is desirable? Am I someone, would I want to be with myself? And that's what it comes down to. Would you want to be with yourself? Would you want to be with yourself? Would you marry you? So focus on your characteristics. Focus on your habits. Your habits. What addictions do you have? Every day, Deliveroo. Every day, Uber Eats. Every day, Amazon Prime. And then you wonder why a lot of divorces are due to financial issues. Because you don't know how to budget. Because you don't have discipline. Build discipline. Build discipline. Because there's bigger things. Listen, there's bigger things. You got to buy a house. Yeah? Because how long do you want to be renting for? You buying a house? If you're going to have children, these kids ain't cheap. You need to buy a pram, a crib. There's things that you need to plan for. Start planning from now. Start putting money aside from now. You think nursery, you think it's cheap for nursery? Oh yeah, no, like my partner's going to have all of that. It's going to, listen, as much as us women, as much as we want to be with a man who can take care of us and look after us, you need to still have something, some kind of skill. You can't cook. Uno can't cook. Uno can't save. You can't, like, you have to be able to have some kind of skill. And let me tell you something, life happens. I've worked with women who their husband fell ill. Their husband, who was very much taking care of the household, taking care of everything, they fell ill. And now you have 3 kids and your husband who is ill that you must take care of. Because you said for better or for worse. Through sickness, through health. So if you don't know how to go and look for a job, if you don't know how to, how to cook, how to budget and all of that stuff, even if he does have saving, if you don't know how to budget, that money will go and you don't have anything else to your name. Listen, a wise woman builds her home. A wise woman builds her home. Be a builder. We talk about the Proverbs 31 woman. That woman was on her grind. Have you actually read it? She was on her grind. Oh, I want to meet the Proverbs 31 woman. Do you have Proverbs 31 woman characteristics? Listen, this is adulthood. We've gone from kidulthood. We're now in adulthood. This is where things get real. This is where things get real. You want certain things? Prepare for them. Prepare for them. We're so fast to focus on everything outside of ourselves, yet we work so less on ourselves. Everything you need is within yourself. Everything. Go within yourself. What lessons do you need to learn? What courses do you need to take? Always bring the focus back to yourself. When you have an argument with someone or something's happened, it's you and the person versus the issue. We're too on the blaming thing. We're wanting to cut off people's... Obviously, there's certain people that need cutting off. I'm an advocate for cutting off people and blocking people. Yes. However, if you want this person in your life and you feel like what they done is not that deep, have conversations, set boundaries and be like, look, this is where I stand. I don't deal with disrespect and ABC, and have conversations and move on. We're talking about communities, but do we have the capacity, the ability, the discipline, the humility to be able to sustain these communities that we're looking to build? A community is not just about you start asking for contributions when you need it, or wanting people to show up for you when you're launching your business or whatever. You need to be building community now. You need to be showing up for other people so that when it's your turn, they will show up for you. And if they don't show up for you, that's fine. That's also fine. You can't hold other people to that. It goes back to you, your level of security. How secure are you within yourself? The amount of times I've had to say to myself, how secure am I within myself? And I spent a lot of time by myself throughout the healing journey. I spent a lot of time by myself because I needed to get comfortable with being with just me and relying on just me. If things crumble, I'm going to be all right. If things don't work out, I'm going to be all right. But that's because I've had to learn. The way I used to spend. Hey, spend money like me not like money. Spend money like me not like money. Yeah? I had to learn to budget. I had to sit down every day. I cancelled all direct debits. And I said I'm going to pay them manually. And every month I would sit down, write it down, all the bills and everything, and do all of that, and how much it is, budget, how much is coming in. Okay, cool. Because I didn't have anyone to teach me. But gone are the days. Like, you can't keep blaming the past. You can't keep blaming the fact that you wasn't taught. Oh, I wasn't taught this in school. Okay, teach yourself now. The past is gone. You only have the present moment. This is all you have. This is all you have. And then you have goals and dreams and things of the future, but you need to prepare yourself for that. Because if you don't, things are more likely to crumble. Things are more likely to crumble. You're relying on that rich husband. You're relying on sis, anything can happen in life. Death could come about. Health issues could come about. Yet you don't know how to look after yourself. You need to first know how to look after yourself before somebody comes to look after you. Detach yourself. Detach yourself from the outcomes. Detach yourself from all of these things that you've attached yourself to. Oh, I don't want to work. I just want a rich husband. Rich husband can also get sick. Rich husband can also die. Oh yeah, then I get the inheritance. That's fine. You get the inheritance, but you don't know how to budget. You don't know how to build a business. You don't know how to invest. You don't know how to do any of that. So how are you going to maintain and sustain this money that this guy has just left? How, boo? How, sis? How, sway? Jokes aside, look within yourself. You want security. You want to feel safe. Somebody else can't give you can't guarantee your safety. Somebody else can't guarantee your safety. Only you can guarantee. Even you can't guarantee your own safety. But you're better off working on yourself. You're better off working on yourself, knowing that you've got you. And then what somebody else brings is a plus. It's a bonus. What somebody else brings is a bonus. But at the end of the day, you know that if you're by yourself, you're good. You're good. Because at the end of the day, yes, you might want to marry rich or whatever, but you also want to be an asset to this person. Do you think a rich man wants some mumu? Do you think? Listen, really be that powerful individual that you are. Don't hide behind somebody else's accomplishments. Where are yours? And in terms of accomplishments, I'm not just referring to tangible things. You being sane, that's an accomplishment in itself. Do you know how many people are fighting for their lives? I'm talking not being able to wake up, not being able to get out of bed because their mental health is beating them up. Work on yourself, work on your mind, work on your body, work on your soul. Because at the end of the day, if you want to be a parent, you want to be a mum, you want to go to the park with your kids and run after your kids. If you can't even run, you're there heaving, you can't breathe properly. You need to be able to get on that treadmill, do that cardio. Really prepare yourself for the life that you want. Detach from food. Listen, I'm gonna do a completely different videos where I share with you guys my relationship with food. Hey, my relationship with food I've come a long way. I don't know if you've noticed, I've lost a bit of weight and things like that, but it's not even about the weight. It's about my relationship with food. Where whenever I was sad or I just felt like, oh, I'll just eat because food made me feel good. But just because food made me feel good, it doesn't mean that the food I was eating loved me back. Because cortisol levels, yeah? Because stress levels, because the sugar, yeah? Face was puffy and everything. But I will talk about that in a completely separate video. Accept the fact that things may not always work out how you want it to work out. Things may not always work out how you want it to. That's just the truth. You're not in control. Stop trying to control everything. In fact, the more you try to control things, the worse things will get. Yeah, because you're not God. You're not God. You didn't create the universe. Only control what you can do, what you're able to do, and leave the rest to work out in the best way that is going to work out. And stop seeking validation from outside of yourself. Give yourself the validation. Work on your self-independence, self-love. Just work on yourself in general. Build self-confidence. Build resilience. And really be someone that you can look at and say, wow, I'm phenomenal. I'm phenomenal. Celebrate yourself. Clap for yourself before anybody else claps for you, before anybody else gives you the flowers. Give yourself the flowers. I am going to talk more about that as well in a separate video. But give yourself the flowers. And ground yourself. Like, whenever you feel like you're running away from current reality, bring yourself back. Because the more in your mind, the more you live in the future, the more anxious you're going to be, because the future is not here yet. And you're going to be frustrated because every time you're in your mind, you're thinking about the future. Whenever you come back to reality, it's almost like, oh, this is my life. Oh, gosh. When you go on holiday, really go on holiday and enjoy your holiday. But don't go on holiday because you want to run away from your current reality, because best believe when you come back, the same problems will still be here. The same problem is still going to be here, boo. The same problem will still be here waiting for you. Hello, welcome back. And then by the time you're back, you're thinking about planning another holiday again. Build a life that you don't have to run away from. And when you go on holidays for leisure, it's not because you're trying to escape. So detach. Detach yourself from outcomes. Detach yourself from the future to a certain extent. Detach yourself from seeking security and validation from anything outside of yourself. You are responsible for you. You are responsible for you. Nobody owes you anything. Nobody owes you anything. If somebody comes and gives you the world and gives you everything, I will take it in a heartbeat, because period. I deserve that. I deserve to be looked after and taken care of. Why not? Spoil me. However, when those things come, or if those things come, do you know how to sustain it? Do you know how to look after it? If you don't, this is the time. This is the time for you to make sure you're working on yourself. Make sure that, you know, if this person that you're trying to attract or you want to be with takes you around their business partner, friends, their business partners, their acquaintances, you are someone that they can have in their arms and be like, yeah, this is my woman. And you're able to handle yourself with elegance. You want a rich husband, you're not elegant. How does that work out? I'm your personal development coach, C-Positivista. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more video content like this, and leave a comment below. Let me know, what are you detaching yourself from?